ICICI to talk about the bank.
So I'm not here to discuss about any views on Indian economy or Indian shares, equities. But we are one of the enablers for people who invest into India as an individual or for funds. So I'm just going to focus on that, and I'm very, very proud of being here. Great event, already a great beginning, and I feel very proud of being associated with this event. Good to see everyone. So let me start by talking about a little bit about ICICI Bank. So ICICI Bank is one of the top 20 largest market cap bank in the world, currently with a market cap of 122 billion. Today, some coincidence, ICICI does the highest ever market cap today in the NYSE at 122 billion. We are having our asset book of around 309 billion. Presence in, we are one of the systemically important bank in India, one of the three. Present in many countries outside of India, around 15 countries. US being one of the large presence here. And of course, a very, very large presence, around 7,000 branches in India. Our rating in India on the rupee denominated instruments is AAA, while globally it is Baa3. So ICICI Bank as an institution is a kind of a global player in India on the financial services side. We have our, spread in the asset management, life insurance, non-life insurance, consumer financing, venture capital, securities, trading, asset management, primary dealership. And almost in all the segments within India, it is in the leadership segment, especially in the private sector. Coming to the offerings on the security services side, so I'll just touch upon some of the aspects. So we definitely, from our India operations, look forward to, serving the customers on the security services side, which basically consists of custodial services. So we are having a custody, an asset under custody of around 377 billion in India, with customers across 35 countries, more than 2 decades of this establishment there, and serving around 2,000 institutions. Now again, custody services are divided into primarily 3 categories. One, of course, the plain vanilla custody services, where we drive the whole platform more and more digitally. We call ourselves as a bank tech, whereby we are moving and we are like front runners in terms of technology within the banking, especially in India. We are also looking at settlement and clearing services for the investors, and where we have large number of transactions. We have built the operational resilience, very high quality disaster recovery plans, BCPs. Basically, as India emerges as an economy, we are also emerging as a bank to support investments into India. Out of the top few custodials in India, we are kind of number 3, and we are the only one on the Indian institution side in the top 5. On the forex solution, very large market maker. We can do deals up to $1 billion in a single transaction when it comes to investments. Very, very focused on investors in India, and the another interesting thing is that we are the only private sector bank present in US from India. Been here for quite some time. I'll just quickly go through this. Some of this is repetition, but of course, being a large bank in India, we are very much part of the market advocacy there. Been on the boards and committees of many regulators in India. In terms of client centricity, we have a very clear something which which is a USP, I would say, is that we handle the clients from, let's say, US to India through a relationship manager concept, which even the global banks would not do, because most of the times global banks relationship manager will connect you to the Indian relationship manager, and then you have to deal with them. While in our case, we have a dedicated team here. They can be your one point contact forever, and they will take care of your requirements in India. I think on the forex solutions, again, we have a treasury desk here in US as well as I mentioned, very large desk in India. We offer settlement in almost 26 currencies there in India. All high-tech products in terms of all the tax products which are present in India, and most of it is automated, most of it is digitally available to the customers. So much so that our custody services onboarding is also digital, which happens through digital upload of documents. We have a platform whereby you have to first send your documents and then the verification happens and then you finally go ahead. So within 7 days there is a capability to onboard, register an FPI in India and onboard it with ICICI Bank on the demat side. Again, as mentioned on the treasury operations, all the activities which can be handled from here as well as for your India operation, depending upon what is your presence in India, it can be dealt on both the sides. Some of the accolades on the the custody services side, we have got a lot of awards, specifically recently, whereby all these technologies have been recognized. And as a single country custodian, I think all the recent awards, be it from UK or from Asia, have been, ICICI Bank has been the front runner. Coming to one more interesting thing, being present here, we have a branch in New York and we have 2 representative offices, one in Sunnyvale, California and the other is in Plano, Texas. And through these offices, we of course do wholesale banking, but since I see a lot of Indian diaspora available here, and I think that a lot of us also do. I think Raghu talked about kind of domestic savings which are coming into equity market. Let me give you some more numbers around that. So India receives almost 125 billion of money from NRIs living outside of India, the topmost country in terms of getting the remittances every year. And US contributes almost 25 billion of that. So again, I would say that Rajiv, beyond domestic investors, I think a lot of Indians outside of India are also putting in money. It may be going into different asset classes. Of course, one of them is real estate, which is around 5 billion every year, only in India from outside, from the NRIs. So we are the only private sector bank in US. We offer services beyond wholesale banking. We offer services to NRI customers. The primary products being remittance and the home loan, as well as all the NRI services. We have large amount of customers of ICICI Bank India here, and they require a lot of services around various products within the ICICI Bank brand, and that we serve. So one of the products, as I mentioned, is the remittance product, which is both for businesses as well as individuals, whereby one can transfer money from any bank to any bank in India, any bank in US. Basically, this particular product is a little different from a lot of fintech products which are available in terms of the size, in terms of the trust. I think people can transfer any amount in a single transaction. And more importantly, we handle the customer in terms of, you can put a face to the name when you have to transfer larger amounts. And what is helping us in this is the migration of customers from, let's say, the conventional channel of banks to, let's say, fintech. But a lot of large value customers do not move to those fintech. But ICICI Bank and Money to India being the product of ICICI Bank here, there is a good traction that we have seen there. On the home loan, so another interesting product whereby ICICI Bank provides home loan for NRIs living in US. You might not be in India for last 20 years, no credit history in India, but if you have a credit history here, as countries cannot touch each other's credit history in terms of hard inquiry, but on the basis of soft inquiry, we do the home loans in India, and again, a huge demand that we get. Also, a lot of properties are pre-approved. Your experience will be as if you are in India. It's all digital channel. You can get the approvals. You need not go to India to get the approval for home loan. Approvals can be given on the basis of your running year. And as I mentioned again, it doesn't have a hard inquiry on your credit report here. It doesn't even show up in your overall debt because internationally it is not allowed to have a debt on one country shown on the other. Again, on the banking side, we are one of the best recognized bank for last few years. With the help of all the customers and investors and all the stakeholders, we have been fairly doing well, and look forward to all your support. Any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
So Akshay, not a question but a comment on the SPLC program, if you want to highlight that to the fund managers here in the room. I've been benefiter of it, but I think others will also like to hear about that.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I think he mentioned about one of the product where we are getting a lot of interest from fund managers here, those who are investing into India. So basically, of course, for your investment as per Indian regulations, we can't do much of leveraging because of the margin funding rules in India. But when it comes to the working capital requirement in India, there are two ways. Of course, you send money from here, and then the money is used in India, and then whatever profits Indian entities are making, and then you again do the repatriation. The other method which we have learned from the industry only, whereby companies are, rather than sending working capital in India, they either take a working capital from us in US, and on the basis of that working capital, we issue the standby letter of credit for India operations, whereby ICICI Bank India or any other bank can, kind of on the basis of SBLC do the lending there. The benefit primarily is that your, money which goes to India, first of all, you don't lose on the in terms of the foreign exchange. Second, you don't get into a lot of repatriation issues for your working capital. Third, in case, though Rajiv has talked about rupee appreciating, but in case there is a high volatility into rupee, that doesn't impact your US balance sheet. We came across many inquiries from companies here, whereby they said now our money is stuck in India in the rupee, and for December 2024 rupee depreciated, and a lot of them has got it onto their P&L depending upon how much of the cash was lying in rupee, because they have to do the USD accounting. But for such companies where you have excess money lying in India, or you expect that whatever you send has to come back, I think there is a structure whereby either we can provide a working capital, or you can even place a deposit with ICICI Bank here, and we can issue you a SPLC which can be used by your Indian entity for the working capital requirement there. Use it, they pay off the loan, and your deposit or your working capital get squared off here, rather than spending some money in exchange, as well as getting through certain regulatory problems. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Manoj. I travel from Tampa, Florida. Thank you, Rajiv, for sending. Thank you, everyone who helped in setting this up. I've been out of India for almost like 10-15 years now. So whenever as a retail investor here, when I try to do my investments in India, when I try opening up the accounts and everything, I always face it. I feel it's very complicated with all the accounts I need to open every time they have new regulations and everything. So if I contact any of these locations, will they be helping me and hand-holding in things with me?
Of course, that can be helped. We do not solicit the account opening business, but if you reach out, considering we have a service segment here, we will definitely help you. But just for clarity, I think this is one of the myths that we carry, and I've been always requesting that people feel that there is a lot of difficulty in dealing with India at an individual level. First of all, for account opening is it's a 15-minute process in general. But what happens, because we are in US for so long, sometimes it becomes very difficult to adjust to that terminology when they use like self-attested document and all those things. So I think those are the things which we can simply, clarify to you. The other interesting thing is, I think India is the only country in the world which recognizes somebody as an NRI even if the grandfather was born in India. So, many times people have this confusion that I was not born there, my son was not born there. we have an NRI account in India. Yes, that is the greatest, I would say, thing about India, where if you can prove that your grandfather was born in India, you are still a non-resident Indian from the banking side or from the tax side. But we will surely help you. That's why we are here, so that people are aware of that of our presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Thank you.